Okay, good evening. So, how are you today?
Very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Um, we had already started with the introduction and cloud computing part, and we have seen the architecture, is it? So,
No, architecture we
some,
have not seen.
yeah. So we are on to that. So, I have told you that we have to take some we have to cover some extra grounds because of some cloud computing requirements, and then we'll back to the cloud security part. Okay. So, uh, I think in the day before yesterday's session, we had gone through the definitions and the requirement of what is cloud security and what is CIA triad encryption. Then we talked about basics of cloud like characteristics. What are the service models? What are the deployment models? So we had characteristics, three kind of service model and four kind of deployment models. Is it? So we talked
Yes.
on that. We discussed this SaaS, PaaS, and infrastructure as a service, and also we understood that nowadays there are various services which are available and they're coming onto the cloud. So nowadays we call it as XaaS, that anything as a service is also now offered through cloud. Then we talked about this four cloud model, deployment models, that how is it going for enterprise level to cloud, like public cloud, and then only industries are using private cloud, and then community cloud for open source access as well, and then there is hybrid cloud. So today we'll be talking about the terms related to securing the cloud and what are the requirements of the cloud security. Okay, so securing the cloud involves these three top things where we need to understand what are the interaction models, what are the top security threats, and what are the good practices, like different things. We'll see one example as well. Okay, and then we'll see the uh, dashboard of one of the cloud model. Is it? So first we talk about security interaction model. So we talk whenever we talk about the cloud or any online, offline, anything which is having some potential value and that is acting like an asset, then it is our requirement to protect that asset. Okay. So different security model is there. So we need to understand how exactly we'll be using this into the cloud model. Okay. So first, these two things that we are observing. Okay. So before cloud model, which is using security control model, and before security control model, there will be a compliance model.
Uh, is there something which due to which this quality of slide is not very clear? Is there something you're doing? Like
You're
can
not
you
able
like in
to
YouTube?
read. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like in YouTube
If
you
you're
can
not
improve the
a-
quality. Right?
if you're
Is there
not able
something?
to read, I'll just try to scale it. Is it visible now?
No, no. Now it is reduced. Like it's difficult to read these alphabets. But is what is mentioned.
Yeah,
Like
not required to read. That is just the
okay,
model. We need to discuss it. No issues in
okay.
that. Yeah. So I'll just quickly give you the ideas, like what are these two things. So we know that there is cloud model. Okay. So security control model. Before that, there is compliance model. So what is compliance? In your term, can you explain compliance word?
Compliance refers to
Hmm.
uh, going along with the policies set up by any organization. So in this case, there would be certain policies set up by an organization related to, let's say,
Correct.
access control,
Yeah.
maybe
So
saving the documents for certain years, those kind of things. So that would be compliance.
yeah, that is right. So the compliance model is being defined already by some governing bodies. So there is one body called as PCI. PCI DSS is one of the body which is securing the credit card, debit card, online transactions. So there are the standard set of rules that PCI DSS possess, and every model, every transaction, payment gateway, everywhere, they should be they should follow this PCI DSS compliance model. So a lot of things are there, right from encryption to antivirus to firewall setting to different key transfers, and many things are there. And these are the different things which are continuously updated from time and again. And then there is HIPAA model, HIPAA, this HIPAA model, blue color, the second one in the compliance one. So HIPAA model is referring to the health and individual health of any country, people of that country, their health records and means overall whatever is the ratio and many other things which are related to health. So HIPAA model is another compliance model which should be available, which should be understood, and which should be incorporated by each of the companies, and they ought to secure the data of that HIPAA model. Same goes for any global model. Then there is SOX, security operations, and there are the different compliance model. Okay, so if you see based on the usage, in general transactions, we have the PCI DSS used everywhere. So whenever you go to any of the payment gateway like PayPal or any other, so you will see down there, there will be one uh, logo of this PCI DSS model, a check. There is a symbol of check sign at, okay, signature, right arrow, right kind of thing. So that comes as a compliance model. And when uh, as a security security admin or security model, we incorporate this compliance model into security control model. Then we have to talk about this s- architecture, that is 7-layer architecture. So in the
Uh,
networking
Arunji, can I ask
or
a question?
yeah, sure.
Uh, what is the full form of PCA?
PCI is related to the card. Okay, different cards, credit cards, and different payment gateways, other things are there. Okay, so PCI DSS is like one of the body which is related for any kind of payment gateway or like whatever
Okay.
payments you are using. Uh, there has to be some standard data security standard. So we call it as DSS.
Okay.
PCI
And
as in full form, like it is like payment card industries. Okay. So
okay. Okay.
payment
And
card industries, DSS is another word which is added to that, which is data security standards. So that is
okay.
a
And
body which
HIPAA,
is governed. Yeah.
when you said HIPAA, that is only applicable to companies which has the health data of individuals.
No, no, everywhere, all over, like it is
No,
health
like why will a
insurance.
bank have HIPAA?
Not only bank, any company or any community, anything, or even a country, they have this HIPAA compliance model, which is Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. This is one of the standard act which is to be followed by each and every uh, part of the country based, and country wise, this model, these rules will be defined or decided. So that is one sort of cyber security act that we are having related to health health insurance and other things. Okay, so that is another sensitive data that need to be protected. So again, this is a norm set by the governments and the international bodies who have suggested certain points that need to be encrypted, stored, and tokenized as per whenever that data is in rest or data is being transferred, that is data is in motion. Okay, getting?
Yes.
Okay. So these there are different compliance model which is set by the government, which is set by international bodies or standardizing bodies, and that should be present in the security control model. Now, what is security control model? That defines that comes with this seven layer architecture. So whenever we talk about any networking, anything which is there on the internet, so there is a body called as ISO. ISO body has defined this OSI model. Okay, so this particular security control model is coming within OSI mode. Okay. So in the networking part, there is OSI model. So uh, have you gone through like networking part,
Yes.
and do you know what are these seven
I know the
layers?
OSI model,
Yeah.
but the names
So
of that OSI which I read was
yeah.
little different from what we have here. Can you reduce it a little? Yeah, this is fine. So the name there in the OSI model was physical data link, network, transport, is not take,
It's network, then transport, and session,
session, and then starting
presentation.
with P, presentation and then application.
Right. So, that seven layer model is one like open system interconnection. So whenever there is networking, there is some transfer of data. So we have to follow, or there is a like a way of doing it. So these are the seven different layers which are having different technology. Maybe in different field we will have different technology, but overall meaning of is the same. Even let's talk about if any company is developing a particular doing some networking. So Ericsson may use different technology to incorporate that networking part. Same way, another company may use different thing, but everyone must support that networking part. Like we talk about in internet that how IP are essential to make the communication. Okay. So same way for the security compliance, we are having this model that is security interaction mode, control model. So in the control model, we'll be having different technologies which are underlying in each of this each of these head. So if we talk about physical security, so physical control model. So what would be that? So that would be like understanding physical security, like CCTV, like the people which are who are responsible for security or on the duty. So that is physical security. It is like uh, securing the house, securing the society, securing the company's gate and all this. So that is the physical and first layer of security. Then second, well, like we have studied as uh, data link layer. Same way here we are having two set of sub layers which are compute and storage and trust computing. So there are different technologies which are there inside based on like what is firewall, okay, then what are the different technologies which is for encryption, which is for uh, intrusion detection systems, HIDS, host-based firewalls. There are different log management, means uh, lot of technology which are helpful to understand what is going in the network or what is going in the system. So that is software part. Okay. And then there is hardware, ROT or APIs. So the way you are accessing any data uh, from any interface, so that interface also must be trusted one and that should be secure. So there are different way of securing the um, APIs and accessing methods. We'll see that when we start with the cloud authentication part, where we talk about authentication factors. Then there is network. So there also you can see lot of things are there that need to be incorporated, like from firewall to DDoS, quality of services, and OAuth. So that is for authorizations. Then there is management. This part of management is like a role of admin as well, that there is GRC. So admin must assess, audit, and find out the different uh, compliance, risk, and governance. All three model are there. So risk, uh, we have to understand if there is attack, then how much is the damage. Then compliance, like how are we adhering to the government norms and their defined policies. And then there is uh, governance. So it is for the management of that company or managing part of that company. Uh, all the services, everything must be available, and that should be in the latest form to the management. So that is called as governance. And second thing is IA, which is a topic of our cloud security as well. That is identity access and management. And then there is virtual machines, virtual authorization. Then there is patch management, configuration, monitoring. Lot of management part is also there. Then there is like information. So information part is a part of cyber security as well as cloud security. So this deals with the how exactly you are maintaining the integrity of the informations by using different technologies and different way of monitoring and encrypting the things. Maybe you are encrypting the channel, so that is like VPN. Maybe encrypting the data, so you are creating a ciphertext. So different techniques are there in that also. And then there is application security model, which talks about how are you going to set up, how are you going to find out if any problem is there, and what are the transactional or security or web app firewall securities. So web app is like another end user points or endpoint security. So we'll talk about that in second week program, which is there as endpoint security. So these are the different things that should be put into the cloud model. Okay. So when we put the things into the cloud model, I just zoom it a little so that all the layers are readable and visible to you, because I think last time uh, those names you were not able to read.
Now I can read it.
Yeah. So this blue part is entirely for infrastructure till the API of the infrastructure. So we have infrastructure as a service which deals with the different facilities, different hardware, and then there is abstraction, core connectivity and delivery. This all these are internal part of any cloud provider. And how are they doing? There are a lot of technologies. One of the very common technology which is there is called as virtualization. So every cloud company, every cloud providers are having this thing called as virtualization. And there are three different types of virtualization. Means they can virtualize their system so that multiple user can access the same system. Is it? Okay. So I'll just give you a small brief about the virtualization. How does it work? So they like Amazon or Azure, they all are having very fast hardware. They are having very fast computing power. So, like a normal person who is having i3, i5 processors or something like that. So, what is happening? That user will access that service. But if we virtualize that hardware, so it looks like physically one device, but software wise, their access can be given to more than one person or more than one user. So like 10 users are using the same laptop and based on the time sharing basis, like for 10 millisecond or 50 millisecond, user one is active, next 50 millisecond slot is given to user two. And so I'm just talking in terms of millisecond. So like in 1 second, there is 1,000 millisecond. So if we divide by 50, so we can get around approximately how much? 50 by, sorry, 1,000 divided by 50. So we'll be having around 20, is it? So there will be 20 users who are accessing the same hardware within a minute. Okay. And that hardware is so fast that every user will feel that things are running parallelly. Means for that user things are running very fine. So that is called as virtualization. So companies, cloud companies have this developed this technology, which is called as virtualization technology. So they can virtualize this hardware part. So multiple users can use the same infrastructure over the globe on this hardware part. Is it okay?
Okay. Like, what I don't
So,
understand is what
yeah,
you're explaining about. So I understood that uh, uh, Amazon and AWS, they will have very fast hardware, very high hardware,
right,
and they are doing some process by which they are making sure when the other user access it, they access it in milliseconds, maybe speed.
right.
And
So,
because
hmm,
everybody is getting some milliseconds, and 1 second has got 1,000 milliseconds, so lot of 20 or 25 users can only access in 1 second, and they would not feel the difference that it was slow or
yeah,
whatever. What is
that
this
is one
process
of
called as?
virtualization,
Okay, virtualization.
hardware virtualization. So virtually they feel that I have a complete system, but actually they all are using the same hardware on their time slot basis. Like in the computer, if you open different, like 5 different applications, so computer does not work on 5 different applications together. It works on one application at one time. But processor is so fast, operating in gigahertz speed. So it is processing all the applications on time share basis rapidly. It is so rapid that we see that my download is getting downloaded. There is Chrome or the browser is working fine. Maybe some uh, scanning part we are doing. So the code scanning or antivirus is scanning fine. So will be like continuously uh, giving you the outputs and we feel that everything is working smoothly. Okay. And then there is this integrator and middleware, that purple thing. Okay. So that takes the platform as a service. So in that cloud model again, all the security aspects or all the security control measures should be present. Okay. So that is integration and middleware. So again, in the purple also, we in the cloud computing, there is virtualization again. So that is called as uh, at the operating system. So it is called as OS level virtualization of operating
To
system
define it,
level virtualization. So like
tell me
you
the
are
difference again.
having, yeah. So let's say hardware is one, and then there is operating system on it. Let's say the laptop which we are using, maybe Mac OS, maybe Windows OS. So every Mac or Windows OS is having support for multiple users. Okay, so you have one account which is called as admin, which is you are having second account which is maybe in your name, and then third account is guest account. So we do not, we restrict the privacy, the certain copy rights in the guest account that should not be able to install or uninstall any software. So those rights are revoked from the guest account. So same thing is happening here also, that in the cloud server, whatever OS is installed, that can also be virtualized. So again, on the same operating system, since it is very fast on that hardware, again that is running for different users. Let's say same OS is actually giving acting as a normal OS for 10 different users. So that is second level of virtualization. So that is related to the platform as a service. Let's say I have set a platform for running the Java program. So that is being virtualized, and like 10 different users who are interested to run the Java programs, they are being served through this single resource, but it is virtualized one. Are you understanding this?
So the same way the hardware was being virtualized, now
Right.
you're saying even the operating system also gets virtualized.
Platform or operating system or the environment will also get virtualized. That is level number two virtualization, called as operating OS level virtualization. So imagine like thousands of users are given access to OS level, and then they are given they are also using virtualized hardware. That is how like Amazon and Azure, they are providing services to millions of users with their hardware. Okay. So so all these are the part of cloud computing. Okay. So if some cloud computing model, if we study, every time we come across this virtualization term. Okay, if you are more interested, uh, like with in the PDF which we have shared, in that there will be virtualization. So, like, we do not need that term, right, in cloud security or in our part of study, but I have given you the required part, whatever we want. Okay. Now, focusing on this upper part of, which is in orange, where we have data, metadata, and the content, which is having application layer and API layer, and then there is presentation and the presentation platform, like which type of data is there. So this entire orange part is related to last thing, that is software as a service part. So when we have this SaaS, software as a service, again I'm saying that this application which is written, that layer can also be virtualized. So that is the top level of virtualization or level 3 virtualization. We call as SaaS virtualization or software virtualization or application virtualization. So again, we can offer the same application to multiple users in virtualized mode. Is it okay?
Mm, okay. I'm just I understood that part. I'm just trying to think
Yeah.
what is going on. Like my mind was saying when the hardware is very fast, and every user
Yeah,
will get some milliseconds. That would
correct.
depend on the speed of hardware, and it will get distributed. When we
Right.
come to operating system and application virtualization, these two
Yes.
are anyways based on the hardware. How can they be fast or slow, and how are they being virtualized? So that is what I have.
Yeah. So when we talk about this OS level, so we have OS and the hardware. Okay. So let's say one user is having virtualized hardware who has selected that I want a machine with the configuration of i5 processor with the 128 GB RAM and sorry, 12 GB RAM and 128 GB ROM. Means these are the basic part of the machines that should have. Then there is a platform. So that has come virtualized. Now user said that I want to use Windows OS. So Windows OS is there. Now users is saying that on this Windows user, please make three accounts. One is admin, one is myself, and one is for customers or maybe for guest users. So that can be done. And then in each of the account, one can install or one can host different softwares. Okay, so at in the software also we have different virtualization. Like you are having one Chrome browser. Are you using Safari or Chrome?
Mm.
Like Chrome. So in the Chrome also we have different tabs in the same browser.
Mhm.
So consider that as a different level of virtualization. Each tab is having different websites open. So they are all are seem to be working parallelly. All tabs are having loading something in each of them. So that is sharing the browser with the tab wise. Early days, like it was not there. So if you want to switch on to use some other browse other website, you need to write the another web address in the uh, same link or same search box. So that is nowadays we are having different tabs. So that is another sort of offering the different tabs. So that is another kind of virtualization. Same thing is happening at the cloud model as well. And whatever is obvious, same thing is used by the cloud. And that is how they are providing the services to millions of users at these three different level of virtualization. Now, when we talk about all these virtualization, we have to adhere to the security control as well. So that is why security part is very much essential in each of the IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS model. Okay. So that was the cloud model that we discussed. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So these are the three things. Few more things will get clear as we proceed further also. No issues in that. Don't worry on that. And we can always cover it as theory part. And if you want, we can this thing will be there with you also. So you can also go through these points. No issues in that. Okay. So from here, what we conclude that there is government norms, different bodies are there like PCI, HIPAA, GLBA, and SOX. All these are referring as compliance model. We have to adhere to their norms. While we are adhering to their norms, there comes different security control models. These are the different technologies with which we can ensure that these policies are being uh, incorporated and that security control model should comply or should be compatible with the cloud model. So in the cloud model, we have this infrastructure platform as a service or maybe a software as a service. All three type of service model should comply to this security control model. So that is how cloud model is interacting with the security model. So that is the first part, that is security interaction model. So whenever we want to embed the security in the cloud, we have to use the security control model. How that has come into the picture? That is through the compliance model. Is it okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
Will we will we
right.
discuss all these layers and everything in detail?
Security aspects will discuss everything in detail. And meanwhile, I have discussed the things with the Ingresh sir also. So he said that before going to and under other parts of the cloud security, he will cover some basic cyber security aspects also, so that it will be easier for you to come get into the security model as well. So, two extra sessions will be there. Uh, Wherever required, we'll be putting that for cyber understanding as well. So, how exactly different models are there? What are the security problems? How to tackle them? So, all these will be covered as well. So that we have discussed that how to provide you the more information on the security aspect, so that you know the security part also in detail before coming into the cloud security. Okay. Yeah. So at present, we are at the security interaction model. We understood that security interaction model is coming from security control model, which was actually based on the compliance model. So compliance model may vary country to country, may vary continent to continent, may be same at global scale. All these possibilities are there, is it? So like in one country, even there are different rules for their different states. So that is possible. Okay. So that is called as compliance model. Then we talk about top security threats which are there for the cloud. And same thing is available for any of the internet or maybe cyber threats also. So same are applicable to the cloud securities also. So these are the different threats. Okay. Some names you should be understanding. So that is why I have put the all together in the slides. We'll just thing means understand the terms only, and then we'll discuss that how to mitigate the things and how do we perform this into the real cloud. Okay. By doing some hands-on workshops. Okay. So
Arunji,
like,
one question.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Now, because cloud is provided by these big companies like Google, Microsoft, now
Mm.
don't they completely secure their cloud? Because I'm just thinking in cybersecurity, I have my systems, I have hardware and everything. So I do a lot of cybersecurity related, department, and I provide security. In case of cloud, don't these companies provide you the security and make those things like
Yes,
security threat free?
yeah, they have all the security models available, and they have all the supporting security models ready. Okay. But and they also make, means there is a security suggestion from the cloud provider as well. So they all give you this thing, but incorporating for your account is on up to the admin security or security person who is designing this entire architecture. So that
Oh,
is about how are you going to use those options that will be available. In normal cyber security, you need to purchase separately from the company. If I talk about antivirus, so we have to purchase antivirus from some Norton or Quickheal or some antivirus companies. When we talk about firewall, so in our Windows we do not purchase firewall because Windows itself is having its own inbuilt firewall and we use the same. But in industry, people are already having the firewall companies like Palo Alto and other things. They're having their own hardware and software, which is having different policies, and they are just continuously being updated, patched. Not lot of things are done to secure their data, so that in traffic, internet traffic which is coming in or going out should be monitored through firewall. Same way, uh, like lot of things are there, but we have to purchase that. We have to take the help of different companies. But here in cloud, all these things will be provided to you in your account. It will be available. Now it is up to you how much level of security you are using and how much is the necessary at least to use that. Okay, so there is a, cloud security intelligence service also. So there that can suggest you that at least your this part is vulnerable and you should not you should upgrade it to this something like that. So that is there. So security, they have the security protocols in place, but we need to use in our applications or in our design. Is it like interior decorator is there? So it is up to the interior decorator to use
But
the proper lock mechanism or just to put a latch in your home while
is it
designing.
like every company who is going on cloud, they always have to maintain their own security team? They will get all the tools by these AWS and Azures, but
Yeah, tools are
Azure does
available.
not secure. Azure provides a tool, they don't secure it.
They have few security protocols which are already in the place, and because without that we cannot proceed in that uh,
Okay.
cloud models. But there are further security aspects so that should be up to you that how do you want your data to get secured, or how are you communicating with your clients outside the cloud and all. So that is
Got it.
on yours. Okay. So while doing all these things, we have these security threats, which is very common as compared to the cyber security as well. So I'll just go through the points, okay? And this is just a small brief that we should be talking about the threats. So there is abuse and nefarious use of cloud computing. So that is one of the security threats. Okay. And I have highlighted in the last session that one of the problem that cloud is having a very good characteristic called as elasticity, or it is scalable. So whenever like there is huge traffic coming onto your website and your website or your application is not able to handle those many requests, so you need to scale up. You need to just use your application onto the bigger machine, maybe bigger RAM, so that it can handle all the requests concurrently. So for that purpose, it has to scale. So whenever it will scale, it will demand more resources from the cloud. And if you have set up your account in that sense that, yeah, you can scale up to that, and your cloud is ready to provide you the resources, and that is there as an option. So when this will happen, what will happen? Maximum use of cloud will be there, and you will be charged for that, because on the cloud, it is based on the amount of uses, number of times you are requesting, or number of requests, or maybe number of kind of processing power you are using. So all these things will give you the billing. So if there is like DDoS attack or any attack which is coming on to your cloud application, then your cloud will simply scale up. But that is not the real case, because it is uh, it is a threat, and who is uh, forcing your application to go on use the higher side. So that is nothing but the abuse or nefarious uses of the cloud computing.
So
So
why will
here,
any company do that? So let's say I have
yeah,
a online company where I'm selling products like Amazon.
hmm,
Why will any hacker come to me and send me extra, users or network? Because they will not. The only thing which will get impacted for me would be higher cloud billing. But how will they get
yes,
impacted?
yeah. So see, if somebody wants to, DDoS attack is attack which tries to bring down your application. So when there is lot of attack happening, So request will be more, your network will or your service will go down. So that is how one aspect is that they are trying to bring down your business, okay, targeting you for some reason. Second thing, that they force you to enter into that defense activity. So moment you enter into defending these things, you will try up starting some new protocols and all, and maybe they can find some loophole in there and they can get in the system. So to gain the access of the system, to get inside the applications, and to target the particular company or applications. These are their motives. Their motives can be anything. So, but these are the motives with which they are attacking on a particular application. So that can be there. Second thing is insecure interface and APIs. So that is another threat, that if your end user endpoint security is not good, you're not authenticating your users with OTP, maybe a strong password, then anyone can download that application and can log in through that user. But that user is not uh, the legal user or valid user. Is that person is like kind of who is using the same ID password, but he is not that user. So that is the problems in insecure interface and APIs. Then unknown risk profile. So you have set up one account on the onto the cloud, but you have not your profile is not proper. Okay, and you have not set many things properly, and your architect design or your security design has many flaws in that, so that can be exploited. Then there is malicious insiders. So this thing, malicious insiders, is like very alarming thing. Like 90% of time, people do not know that we have the malicious software in our system. So that is possible in normal any data center, in individual's laptop, or in cloud model as well. So malicious insiders are like some program or software which is running inside your application, okay, secretly, and which is snooping or ciphering out some data or doing something which is not allowed, which is illegal, but you don't know that software is running be in the back end or behind. Okay, like in Android phone, there are a lot of softwares like PDF to Word to PDF scanners and all, but those scanners are actually taking out our data and putting them onto the cloud, onto their servers. So these things are happening. So Google Play Store is continuously monitoring them, and every time generating the list of and delisting the those kind of softwares from their Play Store. So malicious softwares are something like that, which is getting inside, which is doing something else, but you have installed it for some other reason. Then there is shared technology issue. So again, compatibility is not there, and because of that, there is some loophole is created, and one can take the advantage of that. So VPN and other things are there coming in this picture. Then there is data loss or leakage. So this is like happening to a lot of companies. There is data loss. Data loss is one term. How exactly this is possible? That onto the cloud also, if you have not set things properly, maybe because of some attacks or something, your database has been deleted and its backup is also deleted. So that is a huge data loss. Data leakage refers to the data that you do not want your other users to see, but they have got the access, or maybe that is open and one can use. So that is called as data leakage.
That can happen in cloud
Any
also, like data loss.
Yes, data loss in cloud will happen only if we have not set the things properly, and they are offering different services. Of course, that is chargeable. So it is up to you to trade off the your data loss worth with respect to the billing you are paying, bills you are paying for. So based on that. So if you want to have a backup. So again, we have to like pay for those storage also. So
Hmm.
that is that. Next thing is account or service hijacking. So that is like a bandit kind of thing. So that is daisy. So directly there will be attack and you will be hijacked by using some phishing website softwares. Maybe someone will misguide and maybe someone will give some lucrative uh, ads or something and asking you to click on that link, and then ultimately you are giving permission to access your account or service. So that is like taking forcefully the accounts and other things directly from you. Okay, maybe by fooling you or maybe by threatening you. So that is account or service hijacking.
Okay.
So these are the top security threats that are available. Okay, so how do we avoid all this? So there are different like threat mitigation techniques. Okay. So these are the part of cloud security as well as cyber security. Okay. We'll implement these techniques in our cloud as well. Okay. So how do we stop this abuse and nefarious use of the cloud? So we have to monitor many things. We have to validate many things. We have to understand the problems and we need to find out the anomalies. Okay, so if something is not happening on regular basis, but if someday it has happened, then that is an anomaly. Like a person is using credit card for X amount and suddenly there is a transaction of 3X amount. So that is one anomaly. So immediately credit card companies are having the system which is putting the call and trying to validate that transactions. Similarly, there is insecure interface APIs. So again, different security models are there in the cloud. We need to analyze that which one is to be used and which one is better, and how do we use, what are the different encryption levels that one should use. So there are these are the different mitigations that we need to use. Okay, so these are the things that we need to set up as a cloud security person, okay, or admin of the cloud security. So these are the things that we need to do that. Is it understanding this?
Yeah, but do I have to read all of this in the right?
Yeah, we have to practice that. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah. Then architecture wise, we know that deployment models we have already gone through. So that four different models that was there: public, private, hybrid, and community. We first two community, then the hybrid was fourth. Okay, service models also we understood, and then here comes the different kind of uh, things which is related to which cloud provider you're looking for. Okay, based on that, we will be having different architectures or different mechanisms. So Amazon is having the way distribution of different varieties, and Azure is having some names will be different, but that hierarchy level will be same. So a general hierarchy is which is there in the blue part, that is a resource, then resource groups, then there is say subscriptions, and then there is management group. Okay, so this is the level of hierarchy by which the Azure cloud company is having their resources available to the users. Okay, so that is one sort of architecture which is available. Real architecture is this only, the different service model and the deployment models that we have. Okay. There is no standard or fixed architecture. There will be a hierarchy and generalized term for that. So here, as you can see, it is divided into three layers. Okay, so there is one layer, member accounts and all this. Second is organizational unit here. Okay, and then there is organization or root accounts. Okay, So we need to know what is root account, how exactly it is related to the security and all this. Okay. So at this instant, I'll just take the pause and just for 10 minutes, will be I'm will be going on to the actual cloud and we'll try to understand what are the login process and how do we understand the dashboard, and then we can start with the further sessions of that. Okay. Then we'll talk about different keywords. What is in the cloud? What are the different keywords and what is their use? And accordingly, we'll parallelly compare these two bigger companies, that is Azure and AWS. GCP, that is from Google Cloud, that is having like more of the SaaS level things. So they will directly give you SaaS level things. That is why we are not comparing that at these lower levels. Okay, so Azure and AWS that we are going to compare. Okay, but we need to understand what are these different things, how do they look, and then I'll will start this comparison and understand what are the different things and what is their role and how do we incorporate them. Okay, so these are the three things, three uh, the functions that we need to first understand, see where is it is, and then we will try to implement that.
Okay.
Okay, understanding makes sense.
Mhm.
So, shall we go ahead onto the dashboard and just see how exactly cloud services are looking like? So, I'm talking about first the Amazon service, that is AWS. Okay. So once you go through the AWS, then we can also understand how the things are there in the Azure. Names will be different. Their definition is same, but option name will be different. Like I say here that window icon, the menu in the Android we say like here I say start button, and in Android we say it is menu. Similarly in Mac we say that bar is there for the same way we can talk, we can understand. Okay. So AWS is very famous and it has gained the maximum market size at current, and it is continuously increasing, and there are a lot many cloud computing engineers in AWS than the Azure. Azure is capturing now up to 20%, 22% of the market, and as AWS is have captured more than like 40% around. So that is
Oh,
how their ratios are there. So across the US, AWS is the like maximum people are maximum companies are using AWS. And since AWS has partnered with many institutions, even like lot of things places, and there are lot of training institutes are also there, like Guru schools and all. Everywhere this AWS is being taught and is being practiced, that how is it managed, so that when companies hire the engineers, they already know what is AWS, because it will be better for companies that people already know AWS, so they know how to use it. It is same like understanding Excel or other agile software or something like that for when you are into this that company. So same thing is here. Okay. So I'll just switch on to this security
you said you
this
want to take a 10-minute break, right?
no, no, I'll just switch from here to this cloud security part. How is it for next session onwards, we will be practicing the cloud, is it? So for that purpose. So do you have your AWS account?
Uh, I once took a training of data science. In that, they asked me to create something. So I
Okay,
created, but I think it got deleted because it was chargeable, right?
okay. Because for very first time if you set up, so you'll be having $100 credit and which you can use over the span of 1 year. So your account will be there for 1 year for AWS. For Azure, it is only given for a month, sorry, 3 months. So we need to check whether you have your account still active or not.
It was created 2, 3 years ago, so I'm not sure. Even if they would
That
have given,
is
they would have.
for only 1 year actually.
I can set it up if you want. But if I put
Yeah,
my credit card, they will ask for credit card details, right?
yeah, they ask for credit card because later on after 1 year they ought to charge you. So before that we have to make sure that we have no system or no services running which is giving you lot of charges. However, you will be informed every day via mail that this was the charges occurred in your account.
You want me to create right now?
Yeah, first we'll see the dashboard. Okay, I'll tell you what to do, and then I'll like we can you try to set up. If it is not there, then we can discuss into the next session, and you can share the screen and we can just do that. Okay.
Okay.
So all we have to do is just to go to aws.amazon.in. So I'm just logging in because that root account should not be visible.
So you have been given this account by Guru Schools?
Actually, I have my own account, but I'm using another third party, which is actually the organization for which I'm working. So they are having this MOU with the AWS. So I can use their environment actually.
What do
So
you
they
work
are
as?
yeah, I means I have means apart from this side training and other things, my real thing is I work as a professor in engineering college, and I handle the admin part, network admin part, and security part in there. So I have lot of lab activity there in artificial intelligence and data science department.
You are a cybersecurity person there?
Started with the network admin first, and now I'm in the cloud security.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll just share the screen now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So um, when we talk about this AWS, okay, so this is the first page, first landing page that will be available to you. And here is the website address that is aws.amazon.com that you have to use, and we can check if our account is active or if it is there, or if we can set up with another email ID. No issues that, but we have to use separate credit card for that.
Okay. Is it cheaper if I do
So
it from India, like Indian bank account? You know that, or is it same?
yeah, if you do it from India bank account, that will be that is also okay. No issues in that.
No, no, I'm asking, if it cheaper, that's only then I'll try to do something from India.
See, first it is from if you are having a new account, so there will be like $100 credit is already by default given. You will be charged nothing. Okay. Maybe
It's the same for
initially,
everyone.
yeah, yeah, everywhere across the globe. So there it might be in some sense that will cut from your credit card and it will be reverted back. Here it is around 80 to 100 rupees, $1, I guess, and it will be reverted back again. And after
Okay.
that, you are having 1 year of access. Then you can do some practice onto that, and you can parallelly post some applications there and understand the security protocols and do something like that. And so that you can put into your CV, you can put as a project that you have done this part at, and in the interview time you can one can ask you the questions based on that, how exactly you will do this. So this is the real thing that every company in the means in cloud security or cloud computing people are doing that. Okay, so I'm talking about more of cloud network and cloud admins who are responsible for setting up the policy profiles and users and their policy rights and all. Okay, so this is the dashboard or the default look of AWS, that is aws.amazon.com. So Amazon Web Service, initially it has been started for like its own website, that is amazon.com, and later it has achieved a lot of success and understanding putting the elasticity and scalability in their system, and then thought of commercializing it, making this available for uh, different companies or providing this as a service, that cloud services. So they have grown like like thousand folds now, and now they are offering everything. This is again trying means a parallel business kind of thing as compared to Amazon or its website. So is it visible? Can you read all
Yes,
the
yes,
this
yes,
front
yes.
top bars and all? Okay. So I'll start from the very right side of from this thing. Okay. So on the right
So,
side,
Arunji, what are we
see,
learning right now? What are we learning?
we are learning. First, we need to understand how dashboard is there. Okay. So first session is about the dashboard, hands-on on the dashboard. Amazon dashboard, how to handle the dashboard of the Amazon. Okay, so
Okay,
I'll just give you how which options are there and how will you start with the AWS. Okay,
okay,
so moment you create your account, this will be the very first page that you will see.
okay,
Okay, so in that the on the top right side there is something written, that is user, test, student, and all this. So this is the one temporary ID that I have created. Instead of that, you will be having your name coming in. Okay, so like for me, my original account, it will come as Arun Kumar. Okay, so it is the name or root account user. Okay, so uh, the first login you will have this like this. Okay, and you should not forget that password. So the very first and foremost rule of the root account that you cannot recover later. You have to remember the root user password. Root user ID and root user password should not be shared anywhere. Okay. And whenever we want to do any other activity, we have to create another user account. So there is two account that AWS starts with. One is root account with which you'll set up with your credit card, and you will have that ID and password. Do not share with anyone else and make it very private. Okay. So that is the first rule here. You have to use the root account, but do not use that means recovery is not possible for this. If you forget the user account password, you can reset anytime by using the root account. But if you forget root account, then there is a problem. Okay. So that like yeah, for Apple like iPhone users, if they forget their username, user password, and they have not set up any recovery option, then there is nothing to like open that. Okay, so even companies will not open that for them. That is how that root account is. Is it clear?
Okay.
So on the right side, we have will be your name will come. So that is one thing. Second, from right is there is called as this is called as the availability zone. Okay. So uh, Amazon Web Service are having different availability zones. We call them as AZ. Okay. So there are different availability zones, and in those availability zones, we will be having different services. Okay, so we are using US East 1 at present. So that is in the North Virginia. Second second cloud service, which is hosted, which is physically present there as that Amazon region, that is Ohio. Third is US West 1, which is in California, and then Oregon. Similarly, in South, in Asia Pacific, we are having these many different availability zones are there. Okay, so there is one region, and in one region there are different availability zone. So there is a region, and then there is AZ. AZ means availability zone. AZ. Okay, so for US, these are the four. For Asia Pacifics, these are the things. Okay, so recently Mumbai has been added as one of the AZ. Okay, now they have set up this AWS here also as one of the availability zone. So maximum services which are companies going to be hosted onto the cloud, and if they belong to Asia Pacific, it is better idea to host your resources, host your things, host your application or your services onto the Mumbai, so that you will have less latency, you will have very low what we say as delay. Okay, so that response time will be faster. Are you understanding these terms? Delay,
Yes.
latency, response time. Okay, so there
Latency, I
is
don't know.
latency means variation in the delay.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so maybe your packet is coming with the delay of 1 millisecond to your system, and in another time it is coming at 2 milliseconds. Then again 1 millisecond. So there is latency. Okay, so that is not uniform. Similarly, we have Osaka, Seoul, and then there is Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo. Okay, if we scroll a bit, we get the Canada, there is one, and then in Europe we have different AZs. One is in Frankfurt, Ireland, London, Paris, and Stockholm. Then there is in South America, there is one SA East one. These are the AC names. And then there are more, okay, that is in the South Africa. Okay, but since I'm using one MOU account, which is already in the MOU with the AWS, AWS has provided this. But these regions are forbidden for us. Okay, but if we use our personal account, these are also available to us. Okay, so Europe, Africa, Asia, Hong Kong, Hyderabad, then there is Jakarta, Melbourne. There are in European countries lot of the AZs are there. In till Israel, we have Tel Aviv, one more AZ there. So all these are the different AZs which we have to select. So by default, it has given the North Virginia as the default selection. Okay, we can change it to from North Virginia to Ohio. No issues in that. Okay,
Is there a
so
charge
we
associated to the location?
no charge will be same. Okay, but these US ACs are having few more options. The latest few services which may not be available into Mumbai or maybe in Asia Pacific region. That is possible. So let's say if you are having some extreme services, there is one AWS service called as Kinesis, that is using machine learning algorithms to in your system and trying to predict some model and behavior learning. So if you want to set up that kind of thing in our account, and we want to use that service, then we have to switch over to this Virginia or US AZs, not into the Asia Pacific AZs. But if we are having our users like browsing and hosting a website and or an application, maybe maintaining the data center or databases of our companies, so we can use this Mumbai, and that will be better for India because less latency will be there. If you are in Malaysia or somewhere, you can use the Singapore AZ as well. So that will be a bit more faster. Okay, and delay will be lesser, and multiple users will get the better services that is there. Okay, that is the second thing that we need to understand from the dashboard. The third thing is this, again from the right side, there is a setting icon. Okay, so we can use the setting icon. We can select the languages. We can set up the look and feel, that is themes and all. Then there is one support button is also provided that you can use. Then there is notification icon. That is another important thing. If you use this notification icon, it will show you that is there any issues or is there any problems, or if your system is having some scheduled changes, like from 1st April, this is going to be active, yeah, or one of these services going to be shut down because you have set it like that, or maybe some other notification. So this is called as health events. Okay, so different health events are you can access directly from the notification tab. Okay, and then there is the cloud shell. So here we'll understand that the way I have accessed this dashboard, okay, that is called as console method. That is called as console method. Okay, so do you understand this word console?
Uh, I've heard this word, but I'm not understanding it.
Yeah, console is any thing through which we can give the input and get the output. So that is like a portal. Okay. So if we are saying that AWS console, it means we are using this website address and we are putting in our ID and password, and accordingly we'll be accessing this service, AWS, like we access Gmail or any website account like that. So what is that is called as AWS console. But there is another way of accessing your account, like when we have server. So server may we do not have this kind of graphic user interface. GUI is not present in the server. Have you seen any
Mm,
server ka screen?
I
So
don't think so.
yeah, so onto the server screen we have only black window, and then there are certain commands. Blinking cursor is there. Maybe in the movies, maybe in the
CMD,
websites, CMD.
command
Yeah,
prompt. Hmm?
yeah. So it is similar to command prompt like. Okay. So Alexa, just yeah. So we have the- yeah. So like CMD is there. We call this as CLI. CLI stands for command line interface. Command line interface is like we can put in our command through this line wise. Okay. So that is called as shell scripting. Shell. So here we have Cloud Shell. Okay. So shell is a console through which we can give the input. We can give the commands. So this is called as Cloud Shell. Is it visible that small pop-up which
Yes,
has come there? Okay.
yes,
So
yes.
Cloud Shell. So if I click on that, it will open another Cloud Shell like CMD you said. See, the environment is ready, preparing your terminal and Cloud Shell user and my public IP is being shown here. 10.130.85 that 187 and then there is a dollar sign. Okay, and after that I can type in like different like login dash user. Okay, so Arun. Okay, so this is I'm trying to log in my user ID with the name of Arun so that I can type in. So since I have already logged in, okay, but I can log in through this Cloud Shell also, command line interface also. After that, it will ask me for the password and other things. Okay. So that is called as command line interface. So many of the time onto the server, Cloud Shell is used or shell scripting is used or CLI is used. So that is the second way of logging in into your account. अगर यहाँ पे GUI नहीं है, so you can use this Cloud Shell. Is it okay? Understanding this?
नहीं, so if अगर यहाँ पर GUI नहीं है मतलब
GUI means the page you are looking, that will not be there. You will have only this
oh,
black kind of thing. Only
but
this thing will be
how will
appear.
that happen? If you type in aws.amazon.com, it will always take you to the login page, right?
Yeah, yeah. So where do we type this aws.amazon.com? On
In
in
the
into the browser,
address bar, huh?
but we do not have browser in the server. So server we do not have browser, nothing like that. So it will be having like this only, like CMD.
So if you go to server, it will actually be CMD.
Yes, this only. So it will be like this only. Now it
Everything
is
is
up to
cloud,
you
right?
how.
So it will go through a browser only, I thought.
No, no, not like that. Okay. So if we are if how do we access that? So that is one way of accessing that you type aws.amazon.com and you get into this. But in companies in industry, they do not have this browser. They already have their portal console through which they log. So one of the console is this server version where you have like this. Okay, so you should know certain commands. Okay, so that is called as scripting. Okay, so that is very simple one, don't worry. So if you want to list how many folders are there, you can just type directory dir. In case of Windows, in case of Linux, because 90% of the servers are having Linux. Okay, so you can use that. Okay, so in the Linux, it is called as ls. ls is the command to list the service. Okay, so if I want to access anything, cd space desktop, so I'll just write this desktop. I have gone into desktop now. Okay, so again, if I put dir, I'll get these folder names. So this is the way of accessing my folders. Otherwise, what I used to do, like what we all used to do in the normal, that is we go to the desktop and we'll try to double click onto something. Is it? So if I want to open this, let's say download folder. So if I want to open this document folder, so I'll just click on this document. So clicking on this document is nothing but opening in the CMD. It is called a CD. Is it visible? Can you see?
Yeah, it's everything is visible.
Yeah. So that is second way of accessing. That is CLI or Cloud Shell. And then there is third way. Third way is like we are using, if you are using Windows, then you have to use a software called as PuTTY. Okay. another thing called a software called as Putty. So this is another open source, means free to use SSH. SSH is for secure shell. And securely you want to log in onto your server, you can use this Putty. Okay. Yes, in India people call this as Putty as well. So Putty or Putty. So this is another software which is open source terminal emulator through which you can do login, you can file network transfer the application, and you can also connect to any serial port. Okay. So these are the different options available. Okay. So our login is there, Telenet is there. So that is how do we log in onto any server, not only AWS or any server. So this is one software that one has to download if they are using Windows software. So when you download this, okay, Putty, and in that Putty, you need to configure very first time that which root account service you want to use from Amazon. And there is one key, there is one license key which is called as .ppm file. So I'll just give you the brief when we study that in IAM. Okay. So how do we download the key, and then we use that into the Putty. So once you use that in Putty, every time whenever you try to log in, okay, with your ID and password through Putty. So Putty will already have this license key, like OTP. Okay. So first way of login is through this Amazon console, which is very simple, that I have highlighted, aws.amazon.com. Second, what we have is this cloud shell, which is there onto the server. And third way of login is using the terminal software, which is called as Putty, or in case of Linux, there is SSH. Okay, Linux is directly having SSH. And then in case of Mac, again we have SSH. So these are the three ways of directly logging through software. Like we have Zoom account. So for Zoom, we do not type in the browser Zoom application because we have the application. So through that application, we log in our account. Same way that will happen if we try to log in through Putty. Is it fine? Understanding
Mhm.
something?
Yes,
So
but I am
Amazon,
still.
yeah, tell me.
So you're saying if we have this internet browser, we can do it. If we are in
Right.
a server and it is a Windows-based server or Windows-based operating system, then
No,
we'll
if
log in
it
by.
is any server, if it is any server, we can use shell,
Shell is that CMD screen, black screen.
yeah, CLI,
Okay. If it
command
is
line interface, yeah.
if it is
And then
putty, we can
if it
log
is
in directly
any,
to this.
if it is operating system through which you are directly accessing the service, like software may आपको AWS चाहिए. So for that purpose, if you are using Windows, you can use PuTTY. And if you are using Linux operating system, Ubuntu or something like that. So you can use directly SSH. There is means through console directly from command line. And if you're using Mac OS, then also there is cells, secure cell. Okay. Nowadays Windows are
Will
also
we be
having their
practicing
shell.
all this?
That is the way of login. We are only doing through aws.amazon.com, but for industry kind of thing. So I'll show you how to do it from the Putty also. Because IEM security when we'll study. So there it is involved. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay.
Okay. The reason I'm
But
asking is when I start my
yeah,
job on the first day, will I have to log in via that?
that is one time process. Once you have putty set up, mostly done by the whoever sets your station. Once it is done, then you will have to just put in your ID and password, nothing else. Same thing you are doing through your browser, aws.amazon.com. Same way. So there is no problem, like that is one time of thing, like a person sets your Outlook profile. So Either you set up in your Windows, there is Outlook. No? You have Outlook configured for the
Yes, yes.
email. Yeah, same thing, same way putty will be there, which will be handling your AWS. Then there is this search box. This search box is many thing because there are lot many services offered through Amazon, and we don't know how to navigate to them. So for that we can search it out directly from here. Okay. So if I say IAM, so it will show me different options of IAM. We can even go to sub menus like I want to set up the role user policies. So that can be done. Okay. So these are the different options which are being shown through IAM. So that is called, these are the services which we want to purchase from the Amazon. Okay. Like now talk about these services. Okay. We have 2 minutes more. Okay. So we have the services. If you click on these services, you can see here on the extreme left panel sidebar, we have alphabetically arranged all the services. There is analytics. If I click there on the right side of this, there are the different services. There is Athena, there is clean rooms, cloud search, data exchange. These are the different services which are coming under this vertical called as analytics. Second thing is application integration. So you will be having these options. You can use any of these services to make your uh, implement your solution or to architect your solution. Okay. So that is how solution architects are using different application services, and they are making them available to your account. Okay. So for our client, we can set up, we can do the setup. Okay. Then blockchain related, all the options are available. Then business application related softwares are there. Then cloud financial management, like how billing cost management is done. How do we understand this billing and all this? So there is a AWS billing conductor. You give, you just say that I want my budget is this much, and I have to spend this much for this root account, this much for this account and all. This conductor will understand that how is your practice and how are you doing this, and that can suggest and modify your billing uh, policies, and try to bring down the bills or save you from the unexpected billing. Then there is compute. This is the one thing that from this is uh, one thing which comes as very first, which is called as uh, processing power. So we have different processing power. So very famous one is this, that is called as EC2 engine, that is called as Elastic Cloud Compute. In the subheading, you can read it is virtual server in the cloud. Like I talked about virtual hardware ka virtualization. Do you recall?
Hmm.
Same
Yes,
thing
yes.
is this EC. So if I want to use that hardware as a service, sorry, infrastructure as a service, we have to use this EC2. Okay, so our first session will be on this only. How can we set up this EC2 engine? And then what are the security aspects involved in that? How do we set up that? Okay, so that we'll start doing from next session onwards. Okay, then there is container. So likewise, there are plenty of services. Okay. Even nowadays we have IoT, we have machine learning. These are the new verticals which are there. Then networking and content delivery that we will deal with. That is there for ourselves. Then there is a robotic based RoboMaker is one of the uh, software which is available through their cloud. So now they are offering a lot of things. They are coming under SaaS, they are coming under PaaS, they are coming under us. So all the services are coming on all these three service models. Okay. Whatever you have used recently, that will be shown over here. Okay, this list will keep on increasing the way you will be using that. Okay, so that is just the dashboard that what you have used recently. Where is your current location? Whether you want to create a new application or you want to add a new widget to your home screen and something like that. And on the Again, after that, you will be having AWS console home. So wherever you are, you just click on this logo. You will come back to this dashboard again. From any service, if you want to come out directly, you just click on this AWS logo console home. And from other side, you can use different services. You can create some shortcuts over there and you can use that. So that is the very first panel that we have studied now from this dashboard. Is it fine? Are you understanding this?
Yes.
After logging in, you will have this thing. And very important, we should understand who has logged in, which region I'm connecting to, and what is my AZ, that is availability zone, and then some settings and notifications, and some executions if we want to perform through Cloud Shell, that can be done. Okay, if you scroll down further, there are a lot of things which will come. Okay, so it will show you the billing, how are you using your bills and all this, and your charges. Okay, so see, I have used certain services, I have been charged with some dollars, and my current bill is this much. Okay, so these things are happening. So this is how this cost and usage. These are the different summary which is there onto the dashboard. Okay, so if you scroll down, these things will show up. Okay, the very important one is that blacks uh black script, which is the first part of the dashboard. So okay, so here we'll summarize this today's session. Done?
Okay.
Okay, so tomorrow onwards, we'll also go to this dashboard of AWS and we'll do some practice there also. Okay, you try to recover your account if it is possible. Otherwise, we'll create another, right?
If I recover, then they will not give me that $100 again, right?
Yes, if time is over, it will not be given.